Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Mafex Superman from Batman the Hush storyline. This is a Superman figure that has been long awaited. A lot of people think he's going to be the best Superman figure ever. He looks pretty nice, pretty iconic, pretty classic. The Hush Batman was a very nice figure, very well articulated. So, let's hope the Superman matches up. Let's go and check out the packaging here. As you can see at the side, Batman Hush. Here's Superman looking very classic, very iconic. Get the curl, the red, the blue, looks excellent. Superman, Batman Hush version, Mafex. Here he is in the package. Looks like he has numerous alternate hands, some poison ivy accessories when she controlled Superman, a couple different heads, and even a hand for Batman. The top, Batman Hush. One side, Batman Hush again. Other side, Batman Hush. Mafex is the 117th Mafex figure in the line. The bottom, there's a bunch of credits, and there's a barcode in case that helps anybody. On the back, here he is in a bunch of different poses. Looks like we're going to get some fists, some flying hands, Batman and Superman confronting each other. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I did end up getting two of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and one to keep unopened in my complete 6 and 7 inch Batman related unopened action figure collection. Now you may say to yourself, that's a Superman figure, that's not a Batman figure, but definitely falls into the category of Batman related figures as it's from the storyline Batman Hush, as you can see on the front there. Now I ordered these figures from amyamy.com. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. It's where I always order my Mafex figures from. I pre-order them there, and you get them there faster and cheaper from the American sites. Just make sure you select DHL shipping. It's the only way to get it during the pandemic, in a timely fashion that is. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with a flight stand, 8 alternate hands, totaling 10 interchangeable hands, 2 heads. He comes with another hand for the Hush Batman, and then he has 3 of these green effects for when he's under the control of Poison Ivy. But before we take a look at these accessories, let's take a look at the actual figure. So I hate to say it, some of my first reactions are disappointment, and I'll tell you why. So, looking at the figure, he's got butterfly joints in his shoulders, but it just looks kind of bad. I do not like the way that looks. I just can't get it to look where it is visually pleasing. He's got some white stuff on the side here. Not sure what's going on. I might be able to fix that, but that's really annoying. A little bit of something under the crevice here. His torso itself looks a little odd. How the abs are so disconnected from the chest. It does not flow nicely. Kind of reminds me of McFarlane's Wave 1 figures. They had some problems like that as well. His head feels a little small. Maybe it's because I'm used to handling the McFarlane figures at this point, but that's just sort of my overall thoughts. Now, beyond that, his face sculpt looks great, very stern. The curl looks excellent. He's got a nice cape, a wire on both sides. The Superman symbol looks excellent. The color, the blue, the yellow, and the red are perfect. His abs look nice, the belt. Boots look good, got some sculpted lines at the top, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. The Superman symbol on the back of his cape looks great, very nicely done. Cape's a lot shorter than Batman's, and that's probably going to make this guy a little easier to handle. So, some mixed feelings. There's some stuff I don't like about him right off the get-go, and that's just my first impression. I could be wrong. We'll see how I like him throughout the review. And here he is, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with the stand. So here's his flight stand. This is a great accessory for a flying character like Superman. As you can see, it's got the transparent base. Then it's got this post here. It can rotate around. It's hinged down here. It's hinged here. It's hinged yet again near the top. Then it's got this clamp, which can rotate, and it's going to be able to hold your figure. Here's an example of him utilizing the flight stand. Now let's look at his hands. He has a total of 10 of them. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here's his next pair of hands. These are very similar to his fists. His hands are still balled up in fists, but there's a little gap between the thumb where you could potentially wedge something in there. And since he doesn't come with any very small accessories like that, it seems like kind of an odd hand to include. And his next pair of hands, these are some completely flat hands. These are flying hands. Every Superman figure should come with some flying hands just like these. I call these sort of Christopher Reeves-esque style flying hands. Take him, bring his arms up, and you got this guy flying through the city. And here's his next pair of hands. These are probably the most normal, relaxed hands you can give him. If you wanted him just standing there or just floating there, these would be some sort of standard default hands for him. Might be able to hold something, but it's a pretty big grip. And his final pair of hands, I would describe these as some grabbing or throwing hands. Now let's look at his heads. The one on the left is his more normal expression, although still pretty stern. And the one on the right, he's angry and his teeth are exposed. His eyes are red. Here he is with his first head. And here he is with his second head. It's kind of hard to tell, but his eyes are red on this one. Now let's look at his Leafy poison ivy effects. He's got one for each arm, and then he's got one for his neck. They look okay for what they are, made of a soft, bendy material. The one on his neck looks like you're going to be able to just put it around there without even taking his head off. These are going to represent when Poison Ivy had him under her control. Here he is without those effects, and here he is with the effects attached. Now let me explain what happened in this comic. Superman was taken control by Poison Ivy. She had some ground up kryptonite, mixed it with her pheromones, and was able to control Superman that way. Of course, Batman had a contingency plan. And he does come with one more accessory. This is not actually for the Superman figure, but it can enhance your blue Batman Hush figure. It's Batman's fisted hand holding a kryptonite ring. Very cool, straight from the comic story. Here's the Hush Batman wearing the fisted hand with the kryptonite ring. This will only work for the blue Hush Batman. I can see that definitely pissing some people off that waited for the black one. Now let's look at his cape. It's made of a cloth material. The S on the back is very well done. It's got two bendy wires on either side. You can stick the cape straight up, it'll hold the position. You can have it blowing in the wind behind him or to the side. Very nicely done. It's a lot shorter than Batman's cape, a lot more manageable, gets in the way a lot less, and it's attached much better at the front here. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to top, sitting at about 6.5 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 16.5 centimeters. Now let's look at his articulation. Starting with his head, of course, it can rotate from side to side. It can look up and down about that much. Can tilt his head, giving him a nice amount of personality. Shoulders on ball joints, then go out way more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Kind of have drop-down shoulders, and there are butterfly joints in here, increasing the range of motion. But I don't like the way they look a lot of the time. Even at their best, they still bother me. He's got a bicep cut below that, double-jointed elbows below that. His wrists can rotate around, and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got a ball joint in his torso, can rotate around, go forward and back. Another ball joint down here can rotate around, also go forward and back, giving him a very wide range of motion in his torso. Legs go about this far, ball joints in there. And they got dropped down a little bit, as you can see. Go forward about that far, back, not too much. A little bit of rotation there as well. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle here goes up and down. Can rotate, can tilt and rock, and there's toe articulation. And I wanted to check out which parts, if any, were reused from the Hush Batman. Starting at the bottom, upon first glance I thought the feet were the same, but I'm pretty confident they're not. Going up, I thought maybe the bottom of the legs are the same, but the boots are too different. The muscles are sculpted almost the same. Kind of hard to tell. I would confidently say the knees and the entire upper leg are identical. You can see the muscle in the exact same place. Going up, the crotch area is probably different as Superman's belt is attached to his. I would say their ab piece, it looks like it's the same piece there on both the figures. I'd say their chest area is going to be a little bit different, although a lot of similar muscle areas on there. As far as their arms go, I would say the shoulder and the bicep are the same, and the bottom part of the arm is different. Mafex doesn't do a lot of reuse, but I definitely see some between these figures. Here's Poison Ivy on our rooftop in Gotham, after she's taken control of the Superman. And he's just waiting to do her bidding. And then Batman arrives, drops onto the rooftop to confront Poison Ivy. And then she orders Superman to get Batman, and as hard as Superman is trying to resist, he just can't. And you can see Superman's entire demeanor has changed. His hands are balled up into fists, his face is angry, and Superman is about to deliver a killing blow to Batman, but Clark is resisting, and the few seconds gives Batman enough time to try something else. Batman pulls out this kryptonite ring and is getting ready to pummel Superman as Superman gets weaker. And as Superman is about to hit Batman with his heat vision, Batman grapples away. And after Batman grapples away, he comes gliding down off the rooftop, ready to strike Superman with his kryptonite ring. And at this point, Superman is weak enough from being exposed to the kryptonite that Batman is able to just pummel away. Now let's check them out, compared with some of their action figures, starting off with some of their Mafex figures. Here he is, next to the Hush figures Mafex has made so far. We've got both the blue and the black version of Batman. I believe they're making a Catwoman, Joker, and a Hush figure upcoming. I hope they keep making these figures. I would love a Tim Drake as Robin from this line. And here he is, next to the only other Mafex Superman figure that I have. This one was from Batman vs. Superman, and I'm told the Justice League one is light years better. Here he is, next to the DC Direct Hush Superman figure. Then, next to a few different paint variations of the DC Direct Hush Batman. And now let's check him out, compared with some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. I'll start off by comparing him with the larger action figure lines that I collect, and work my way smaller, and I'll include as many Superman figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some DST, or Diamond Select toys. And here he is, next to some McFarlane DC Multiverse Superman figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Superman figures. And here he is, next to some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Superman figures. And here, with some of his Mafex brothers. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, with some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a very nice Superman figure, but he's not without his flaws. Some of the things I mentioned at the beginning still stand. His butterfly joints, they look awkward in some poses, and they look even awkwarder in some other poses. His torso has grown on me, it's really not bothering me at all anymore. The little bit of white residue on his side is very annoying. I know it's only a little bit, but come on, these Mafex figures are expensive. There's a lot of good things about him as well. He moves very good, he looks amazing, the colors are perfect, his cape is great, his accessories are really fun too. They can make for some great action figure scenarios. Overall, if I were to rate this guy, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. I was really hoping and frankly expecting to give him an 8 out of 10, but I didn't quite make it. So this is D. Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.